Alejandro's Gift by Richard E. Albert. Illustrated by Sylvia Long. Read by Francisco Rivella. Alejandro's small adobe house stood beside a lonely desert road. Behind the house stood a well and a windmill to pump water from the well for Alejandro and his only companion, a burro. It was a lonely place. Visitors were few. To pass the lonely hours, Alejandro planted a garden. It had carrots, beans, large brown onions, tomatoes, and corn. The days went by with little change until one morning when there was an unexpected visitor. A ground squirrel crept from the underbrush, drank its fill of water, and scampered away. After it left, Alejandro realized that for those few moments, his loneliness had been forgotten. And because he felt less lonely, Alejandro found himself hoping the squirrel would come again. The squirrel did come again, from time to time, bringing along wood rats, pocket gophers, jackrabbits, roadrunners, Gila woodpeckers, and thrushes. Even an old desert tortoise could be seen plodding toward the garden. Suddenly, Alejandro found he was rarely lonely. He had only to look up to find a small friend nearby. He soon realized that his tiny desert friends came to his garden not for company, but for water. And he found himself thinking of the other animals in the desert. Animals like the coyote, the desert gray fox, the antlered mule deer, the bobcats. With his windmill and well, Alejandro could supply ample water for any and all. So, Alejandro decided to dig a desert water hole. Digging was tiring work, but the thought of giving water to so many thirsty animals more than made up for the drudgery. And when it was filled, Alejandro was pleased with the gift he had made for his desert friends. Days passed, and it was still quiet at the water hole. Why? Alejandro wondered, weren't the animals coming? What could he have done wrong? One morning, Alejandro saw a skunk in the clearing beyond the water hole. But when the skunk saw Alejandro, he darted to safety in the underbrush. It suddenly became very clear why Alejandro's gift was not accepted. He dug another water hole far from the house and hidden by heavy desert growth. When it was filled and ready, Alejandro waited. As it turned out, he was not disappointed. The animals of the desert did come because the water hole was now sheltered from the house and the road, and the animals were no longer fearful. And although Alejandro could not see through the desert growth surrounding the water hole, he had ways of knowing the animals were coming. By the twitter of birds gathering in the dusk, by the rustling of mesquite in the quiet desert evening, or the unmistakable sound of a herd of peccaries charging toward the water hole. And in these moments, when Alejandro sat quietly, listening to the sounds of his desert neighbors, he knew that the gift was not so much a gift that he had given, but a gift he had received.